Good day everyone. Today on the bench I'm going to tie you up my little Ice Dub Nymph. There's just a little attractor nymph I tie up that really gets the job done sometimes when the fish are a little fussy. It's a nice little attractor. I've tied it in different colors just to sometimes imitate naturals. This is a kind of a dun color, and there's some olives and greens in there. These are more the tan. That's a calabatus coloration. There's black, and also done some in purple, which are very effective also. So you want to tie these up in some different colors. They're a nice, easy fly to tie. Fish like to eat it. That's what I'm looking for. To start, we'll go over the materials we need to tie the fly. We're going to use the hook is going to be a Mustad C49S. It's size 14. I like to use a curved shank hook on that. And then we'll use for beads, I'm going to put some 3/32 silver beads. You can use whatever colorations you like. The tailing material, I'm going to take some light olive grizzly hackle down here at the bottom. We'll pluck one of them off for the tail. The body, we're using Ice Dub, of course. This one here I'm going to tie with light olive. And the legs on the side, which work very easily, is just some midge crystal flash. And then the collar behind the bead, I'm going to use one strand of the ostrich herl, or peacock herl. Just tied with ostrich a minute ago, so excuse me with that one. Okay, we'll get our thread on the shank here. I'm going to tie around the bend a little bit. With that, we'll bring in one of these nice feathers off the bottom, cut that stuff off the bottom. We want to make sure we get into some of the more pronounced tips. This little soft right there, I like to get some of the tips, you get a little more color. Line the tips up nicely, pull it off the side. There, that looks good. We'll just catch that in. I'll go just around the bend here a little bit so the tail peeks down. Get a nice shape to the fly that way. Also use some extra fine green wire for the rib. Catch that in here. We'll tie it back over itself so it doesn't pull out. Come to the rear. I just throw a half hitch on for giggles. Then I'll get my UV Ice Dub. Comes in so many different colors. This Ice Dub makes a great accent when you're blending dubbings, and this one I'm just using it all by itself. Just come up with that idea one day. I was wondering how that works, and by golly, I was pleasantly surprised. It sure doesn't match anything in the water, but sometimes them little attractor flies work good, don't they? So we're just gonna start winding our, I'll tighten it up by turning it the other way now. Just build our body up, and this you can get really tight. That's what I like about the Ice Dub, it's really tighten that up. I can keep working on that, get a nice thick taper, or the clinger style nymph if you will, or bigger taper on that. Then I'll just come in with my wire. I'll give it some fairly close turns with the rib. Use a contrasting color on that. Kind of shows up quite well. And bring in some midge flash. Tie it on each side. Just gonna a little bunch here. Trim it off. And I can go to the other side and just pull this over the top of the bead and tie it off on the other side. If you kind of exit on, it will go on nice. It'll kind of stay out a little bit too. Trim them about even. They really make a pretty cool looking leg, very, very bright. And you can use more of the natural colored ice dubs too. I'll take one of my peacock hurls here. I tie it at the front, and then I'm just going to take a couple turns behind, and I tie it off behind the peacock. I don't tie it off at the bead. Kind of cleans up that head a little bit, looks a little better. Give it a couple whip finishes there. See, I caught a little straggler of that crystal flash, and just trim that out. Not a big deal, but pretty simple fly to tie, and it really does attract some trout some days, and they're a little bit moody. So there you go, Brent's Ice Dub Nymph. You can tie it quite small. It's easy, and maybe you want to try this on some of your local waters. Works lakes, rivers, streams. Works quite well in many different situations. So there you go, Brent's Ice Dub Nymph. Thanks for watching Sport Fishing on the Fly on the Bench. We'll hope to catch you again soon.